Stories of innovation and success from the vibrant communities of rural Nova Scotia. This is Ignited.
Welcome to Ignited, the podcast where we celebrate innovation and rural success. I'm Wade Cleveland with Ignite, a rural innovation hub that brings together startups and industry, youth and community with the goal of making an impact on rural communities everywhere. Right now, we're back with Ignite founder and CEO Doug Jones, continuing the conversation we started in our previous episode. We're going to start off by talking about what's happening with Ignite in 2023. I know that there's a lot of plans. There's a lot of things that we're up to. Let's start off with the creative arts and music programming that we've been putting together.
The creative arts and music program kind of came out of some conversations I was having around access to opportunities for youth in our communities, especially in creative industries. Creative industries is a pretty broad spectrum of things, including everything from art to digital design, to game programming, you name it, music, recording, podcasting, the whole thing. So we wanted to create opportunities for some of the youth in our communities around those spaces, and recognizing that they may not get the same access to those opportunities as you would in bigger centers. So we put together some programming in partnership with different groups, including Music Nova Scotia, including the Discovery Center and others, and really are focusing on some key activities throughout the year. Well, I mentioned Music Nova Scotia, starting with how to showcase as a youth musician, things like that, and then getting into podcasting, getting into more of those arts-based things. We've got some game development workshops coming up in partnership with Shift Key Labs and Deep Sense at Dalhousie, and some other organizations will be involved in that one as well. So we just want to try and expose these kids to those industries, because I think those industries are growing, but our resources in these smaller communities are shrinking as far as exposure to those industries. So that's a key activity that we're taking on this year.
On top of that, of course, we have the Igniting Women in Business project that we're working on, and there's a lot going on with that.
Yeah, really, we're trying to build a vibrant community of female founders around the province, and some of our leaders on our team here at Ignite that are spearheading this, just trying to build these networking events, bring in speakers, showcase female founders that have had some success in our communities, and build some resources around those entrepreneurs. There's some unique challenges, whether you're a female founder or there's challenges in every aspect of entrepreneurship, but there's some unique challenges facing female founders, and we want to see more of those founders coming out and fine-tuning our resources to help support those entrepreneurs. So this is a key growth area for us. We want to grow this into a vibrant kind of network of female founders throughout the province. And for that one, we're, again, partnering with some great organizations like the Center for Women in Business out of Mount St. Vincent University and others, and working on things like access to capital for those entrepreneurs and things like this. So we're bringing in other organizations to help support in those and do some training and showcase events for those founders. And I think I'm excited to see where it goes. We've started this program coming out of COVID. We had some programming going before COVID, but now that we're on the other end of that, I think we have a huge opportunity to rebuild that network. And really excited to see what the leaders on our team are coming up with to help build that community.
Right on. Now, summer camps. Let's talk about Up and Atom. Up and Atom is a very, very interesting concept that was played out in northern Nova Scotia last year, but you're looking to expand that too. And Up and Atom, ATOM, is the atom part of it. It's science and sports. Yeah,
we fortunately last summer had an intern working with us, Leah. She was a student athlete at St. Avex in Antigonish, and she worked with us last summer, and we wanted to do something unique, especially in underrepresented communities in the New Glasgow area. So we focused on the African Nova Scotia community there, and wanted to have something that resonated there. So what we came up with was really combining the love of sports in that community. There seemed to resonate around, access to sports camps and things like this. But what we decided to do was take that sports camp mentality and combine it with the science part of those sports. So we decided to run this camp based on primarily two sports, basketball and soccer. And what we did was we partnered with the St. FX women's basketball team, and we partnered with the Halifax Wanderers to run the sports side of the camp. And then we brought in the Discovery Center to do the science of the sport. So they would spend half the day on the soccer pitch or half the day on the basketball court and half the day inside doing scientific activities and experiments based on those sports. So things around propulsion and robotics and stuff like this. And really a different mindset in that camp, but it was such a huge success. And we did it right in the community, which was great there because, we got a huge amount of turnout, number one, but we also learned a lot about the community and learned a lot about the kids in the community and the parents and the resources there. So our primary sponsor, Michelin, really came to bat for us there and covered the cost of that camp. And we had a number of other community sponsors involved as well. And with the success of that and the success of, bringing together the Halifax Wanderers and St. FX women's basketball, we also wanted to expand this. So this year we're going to not only run the camp in New Glasgow, but we're also going to run it in Yarmouth. We're going to work with the town of Yarmouth and the Mariners on Main, which is our sports facility here, and do much the same. And we're going to bring other partner organizations to the table and do the science of sport. And I think, in my background as a former athlete and a person that was involved in science heavily and things like that, I really like the aspect of colliding science with sport and not just talking about you're a great athlete. Wouldn't it be great for us to be able to say he's a great scholar athlete or she's a great scholar athlete? And that's what we want to do is expose kids to more than just the sport. And so I'm really, really excited. We're going to expand it here. And, we've had requests from other communities as well, but we're going to slowly grow this and bring together partner organizations to help it grow.
When it comes to Ignite, of course, Ignite, one of their pillars is entrepreneurs and startups. And we have more programming yet for entrepreneurs and for startups and a lot of mentorship. Yeah. We're really growing the supports we have for entrepreneurs. And we want to surround new innovators and new entrepreneurs with all the resources they need at the right time. So it's not just about space in our facilities. It's about the mentorship that comes along with it, the access to partner organizations. We have a network of partners throughout Nova Scotia and throughout Canada that can provide assistance to these entrepreneurs. And we want to take the entrepreneur through their journey. So a lot of the entrepreneurs come to us with an idea. Ideas are great, but it takes action in order to create something vibrant, something that'll grow. So we want to take them from that idea stage all the way through the entrepreneurship journey and give them a home and give them access to our network and access to our resources inside of Ignite. So they may want to be prototyping something. Well, they can access our 3D printer equipment. They can access our tools and our resources that way. Or our philosophy has always been putting the resources in front of the entrepreneur and teaching them how to use those resources. So we're sitting in our recording studio at Ignite right now, and this is fully accessible for all of our entrepreneurs, and we want them to be the producer of their own marketing.
We want to give them access to our camera equipment, video equipment, drones, all that sort of stuff to help create their own marketing and really bootstrap their enterprises and build their customer base. So we're excited. We've revamped everything to be less of a cohort style model. So we recognize that we have entrepreneurs coming to us at various points in time. So we're open to bring in new entrepreneurs on an ongoing basis and start giving them access to those resources. So it's really a straightforward process. Just go to our website and there's an application right on our website, or drop into our facilities, book a tour. What really resonates a lot of times is when an entrepreneur walks through the door and sees what's in here. And we're trying to encourage entrepreneurs who are even just thinking about being an entrepreneur to come in and meet with our team and meet with the other entrepreneurs in the space. And that's part of it, is being around other entrepreneurs and feeding off each other and building that network for the entrepreneurs. So coming into 2023, our goals are to really expand our resources, expand our help that we give these entrepreneurs, and we want new ones. And there's no limit, and you don't have to be a tech entrepreneur. You don't have to be building a new product. It could be any type of business. If we can provide you resources to help you scale, that's what we want to do.
Hey, are you a professional, a small business owner, or entrepreneur working from home or remotely? Consider co-working at Ignite. Ignite provides a wide range of amenities such as high-speed internet, printing and copying services, private meeting rooms, free snacks, coffee and tea, training and networking events, 24-hour access, and much more. We offer monthly and daily rates to our members. Did you know that 76% of employees say they dislike the lack of social interaction when they're working from home? And 84% of coworkers say working in a co-working space makes them more fully engaged and motivated. You could be working in a modern, fun, flexible, and collaborative environment at Ignite. Find out more at igniteatlantic.com. You have a gift when it comes to networking. Being able to communicate well is a key, and that insatiable curiosity really goes far, not just in innovation, but in networking, and I think they all kind of interconnect.
Yeah. Networking is probably the most important part of being an entrepreneur, is building relationships and networking. And it's not the first time somebody has said that I have this gift for networking, but it's not a gift. What it is recognizing opportunity when it's in front of you. So if I'm at an event, as an example, you and I attended the Chamber Awards, and we're sitting at a table with other people. The first thing you do is start finding out what makes these other people tick.
Yeah.
I'm interested. That's the core piece of networking, is that curiosity. Most people, when they walk into a room, hold back. They're wallflowers. And I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not out there loud and everything. But if I'm introduced to somebody, there's a reason why I'm introduced. And that reason is sometimes the person introducing us thought you guys would hit it off, or you have something in common, or this organization can help your organization. So I look for those hidden values in everybody I'm connected with. And sometimes, it doesn't lead anywhere necessarily. I don't go in with a motive, I'm going to make new contacts today, and I'm going to build my Rolodex. I just go in open-minded and have conversation. But it's also about taking that contact of yours and making them a contact of somebody who needs them.
Yes.
So I think that's where my skill as a networker comes in, because often it's just talking to somebody about their problems and saying, hey, I know somebody who has some expertise on this area that I can connect you with. And doing that, that's a core philosophy of Ignite, is to bring a whole bunch of organizations together, bring a whole bunch of skilled people together, and use them as resources at the right time for an entrepreneur. That's often just that's a navigation problem. It's a logistics problem. But I still have to ask good questions of the entrepreneur I'm talking to.
Because you have to know where those pain points are, if you will.
What's keeping you up at night, or what? And sometimes it's just a matter of listening, and they just need to vent. And it's not necessarily a problem that I can fix, but they need somebody to talk to. They need to get this off their chest. And sometimes it's just sitting, listening, talking,
Yep.
sharing a coffee or a cold beverage with them and listening. Because as entrepreneurs, it can be a lonely existence, especially in rural communities, because you're trying to adopt this innovation or create something out of nothing, and you're really by yourself. Whereas that's some of the advantage of being in a city where there's a cluster of, say, tech companies. You can easily get immersed with a whole bunch of other tech people.
Right.
But here, if you're a tech person coming into Ignite, yes, we have supports and we'll support you, but there's not 100 other tech companies here because we've located in areas that don't have a university that teaches computer science. We have some colleges that have some computer science, but they're not generating the same type of students coming out as far as tech founders go. So you have to network with different people.
Right.
But that's great. If you can network, if I could put a welder and a tech person and a tourism operator and bring in some diversity and things like this, you get some really interesting conversations.
Yeah, because everybody's looking at the same problem from different perspectives. And those different perspectives are key.
100%. Because if I sat there and only surrounded myself with people like me, I would be the most boring person on the planet because I wouldn't be able to dialogue with anybody other than people like me. Well, the advantage of being in a small community is I don't know anybody else inventing sporting goods products. So guess who I talk to? I talk to the tourism operators or the welders or the boat builders or whatever, and you do get different perspective. And you can step back and say, okay, the whole world is not around what I'm interested in. It does give you a broader scope of how you build a business and how you thrive in a rural community, because you can't thrive in a vacuum. You got to thrive as part of the community. And the community is made up of a whole bunch of different types of groups, including seafood, agriculture, boat building, you name it. That gets me excited in any of these rural communities we work in. The diversity of companies and the diversity of people, and it's just an exciting kind of melting pot of industry, which is neat.
Here's to 2023 and to expanding even further beyond that.
Awesome. Thanks, Wade.
If you want to find out more about rural innovation and what Ignite does, check out IgniteAtlantic.com. And if you enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you subscribed to Ignite It, shared us with your friends, and gave us a good review. We'd love to hear from you. Any comments or suggestions about the podcast or who you'd like to hear on it are most welcome. Our website again, IgniteAtlantic.com, and my email is Wade, W-A-D-E, @IgniteAtlantic.com. I'm Wade Cleveland. Thanks for listening. Talk soon.